I. The abandoned salon. In the heart of an old neighborhood in northern London stood a crumbling relic of the past, Amara's hair boutique. The windows were boarded up, the once vibrant pink signage faded to a dull gray. The locals avoided it, calling it the cursed salon. They whispered of strange noises, flickering lights, and the scent of burnt hair wafting from its cracks on moonless nights. Elliot, a young photographer obsessed with urban legends, had heard of the salon from a Reddit thread titled, Haunted Hair, London's Forgotten Horror. Determined to capture its eerie atmosphere for his horror blog, he grabbed his camera one cold October evening and made his way to the location. The front door was surprisingly easy to open, the lock barely resisting. A gust of cold air greeted him, thick with mildew and something else, something metallic and sweet, like rusted iron mixed with rotting flowers. Inside, cobwebs coated the ceiling like lace. Dust covered the floor, but oddly the styling chairs and mirrors were pristine, untouched by time. A row of mannequin heads lined a back shelf, each wearing a wig of long, jet-black hair. Elliot raised his camera to take a photo, but the screen flickered. Static. Then black. What the hell, he muttered. The camera was brand new. He lowered it and turned to leave, but the door was gone. It hadn't just closed behind him. It had vanished. Whispers in the mirror. Elliot's breath quickened. He stepped back toward the center of the salon, calling out, "Hello? Is anyone here?" Silence. Then came a whisper, so faint he wasn't sure he heard it. "Cut the hair." He spun around. The mannequin head stared blankly, but one of them, he swore, had its eyes open now. He walked toward it, trying to convince himself it was a trick of the light. The eyes were glass, wide and dead, but the hair, it moved. The strands waved gently in the air, as if caressed by an invisible hand. He reached out to touch it. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through his palm. He looked down. Blood. A strand of the hair had sliced into his skin like a razor. He staggered back, breathing heavily. This is messed up. Just then, a loud click echoed from the back of the room. The lights buzzed and turned on, harsh fluorescent white. And in the mirror across from him, something appeared. Not a reflection. A figure. A woman stood behind him, pale, tall, dressed in a tattered stylist's apron, her long black hair falling in wet strands over her face. He spun around. No one. Back to the mirror. She was still there. "Cut my hair," the voice hissed from the glass. Elliot screamed and dropped his camera. It shattered. Amara's secret. He ran toward the back of the salon, where a curtain covered a hallway. The fabric smelled of mildew and decay. He pushed through and found himself in a small storage room filled with old hair products, wigs, and yellowed newspapers. On the wall hung a framed photograph of a woman. Her name was etched in a gold plate beneath it. Amara Devlin. Owner, stylist, medium. Medium? He examined the newspaper clippings. Local stylist claims to communicate with spirits through hair. Hair holds energy, says woman who styles the dead. Elliot's blood ran cold. According to the articles, Amara believed hair retained the essence of its owner, even in death. She claimed to channel messages from the deceased by touching or cutting their hair. Clients flocked to her for spiritual haircuts, hoping to hear from loved ones. But then the headlines grew darker. Client dies during ritual haircut, heart attack, or something worse. Salon closed after multiple disappearances. Amara Devlin presumed dead in fire, body never recovered. The last article dated back to 1992. Elliot took a step back. The floor creaked under him. Something squished beneath his shoe. He looked down. Hair, wet, black, and pulsing. It slithered around his ankle. He screamed and kicked free, bolting from the storage room only to run headfirst into the salon mirror. Except this time, the glass gave way. IV, the hair realm. He fell through the mirror into pitch darkness, landing on a soft, spongy floor. As he stood, he realized it wasn't ground at all. It was a massive pile of hair, tangled, greasy, and alive. The air was thick with the scent of burnt flesh and shampoo. Shapes emerged in the darkness. Mannequins, no people. Dozens of them, sitting in old salon chairs, eyes rolled back, mouths sewn shut with strands of hair. They began to whisper in unison, "She's still cutting. Don't let her cut you. Each snip takes a piece of your soul." Elliot turned to run, but found himself bound, his feet wrapped in hair, pulled slowly toward a glowing chair in the center of the realm. Sitting in the chair was the woman from the mirror, Amara. She looked up. Her face was pale but beautiful, except for her eyes, which were pitch black and weeping strands of hair. You came for a story, she said calmly. I'll give you one, but I must take something in return. She raised a pair of golden scissors. Elliot screamed. V. Snip. In the waking world, it was 3 a.m. A homeless man passing by the old salon stopped in his tracks. Through the shattered front window, he saw the lights flickering, and inside a young man sat in a chair, slumped over. His head tilted forward. His hair was gone, every strand. The man was bald, but the hair wasn't on the floor. It had vanished. The police arrived an hour later. No signs of forced entry, no evidence of anyone else. The body was identified as Elliot Rhodes, age 24. Cause of death? Shock. No wounds, no trauma, just bald. And in his hand, a lock of black hair clutched tightly with a tiny note tied to it. Your soul is in the strands. VI's Aftermath. The blog post appeared 2 days later. The last cut, the truth behind Amara's hair boutique. It was scheduled for auto-publish. The article was full of photos Elliot had taken before his camera broke, somehow now clear and untouched. The final image was of a mirror cracked down the center. And behind the crack, Amara's reflection. Viewers swore her eyes followed them. Some who read the article reported nightmares. Some woke up with hair missing. A few were found bald and dead. The blog was taken down after 5 days, but the story spread. A TikTok trend began. Cut a strand, say her name. Those who did it disappeared. Sippin', the salon today. The building is still there. Authorities boarded it up, installed cameras. But every now and then, footage shows the front door creaking open at 3 a.m. Inside, lights flicker. The hum of a hairdryer echoes. And on full moon nights, if you stand close enough, you can hear a voice whisper through the keyhole. Cut! Cut the hair! They say Amara is still waiting for her next client. Are you ready for your appointment?